So here I am in the Celtic Broch on right the southern tip of Galicia, and I thought you might like to have a look at this too, because full of some really interesting ancient architecture. Now the Celts had very good taste, I have to say, in location. They seem to have chosen the most beautiful spots all over the Atlantic. But they also had good taste in architecture, if you ask me. It's really interesting for me to look at round circles as opposed to squares, because in Turkey, where the ancient stone structures are normally Roman or Greek, ancient Greek, then it's always squares or rectangles. The Greeks and Romans were into their squares and rectangles, and even the traditional, so the more traditional, but more modern stone houses, sort of from 20 or 30 or 50 years ago, let's say, they're also square structures. These are round. The Celts liked round, and it's really beautiful to see these round structures. So let's have a closer look. Okay, so there we have I presume that's one person's, or one family rather, one family's accommodation. As you can see, it's pretty cosy, not so big. If I get in the middle of the structure, we'll have a look. It's probably about 2.5 meters wide. Not very big, but they all have a little balcony, which is rather cute, and with a chair on. Most of them seem to have a chair, like this one. You see, a little seat that you can sit in, like this. Yeah. Now, sorry to say, it appears that most of them have been restored using concrete, which is tragic. I don't know why. There's lime all over Galicia. I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, Galician Council, I take it back, but it looks very much like it's concrete, or concrete mixed with earth is what it looks like to me. I think really people have simply lost the art. They don't know how to use lime anymore, which is crazy, because it's easy as can be, and it's much more inexpensive. It uses only a quarter of the energy to produce. So from the greenhouse effect point of view, it's much better. And if we go inside and look at the original structure, I don't think it even has lime in the original. I think it's simply earth and sand, clay as well. That's my opinion from looking at it. Because when you get the stone masonry right, which is the art that we've sadly lost today, everybody wants everything quicker and quicker. And obviously stonemasonry is an art that takes time. So, and it costs a pretty penny too today. However, when you get the stone masonry right, you can see it's like a jigsaw, fitting all those stones together, knowing where to put your larger stones and where to slot your smaller stones. When that's right, I'm not saying I know how to do it, I don't, then the mortar becomes far less important. You don't need the mortar to hold the structure together. The structure itself is standing, simply filling in the gaps with clay. Anyway, if you want to look at the finished result, what a Celtic broch would have looked like, that's how they would have looked. Really quite cute with the grass roof. Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. Celtic broch.